So let's talk lavender essential oil. If you've never seen an essential oil bottle before, they look something like this. This is a smaller one. This is about 5 ml here. This is the lavender that I use. And lavender essential oils are basically any plants or leaves that have oils in them, and they are broken down and the oils are extracted and then bottled like this, so you can use them in a more condensed form. Now essential oils are 90 times stronger than if you actually use the plant itself. So if you're making lavender tea versus putting lavender essential oil into something, know that the lavender essential oil is 90 times stronger. So please exercise caution when you are working with essential oils. Now, lavender is kind of cool. I feel like lavender covers a lot of bases. If I recommend somebody to take one essential oil with them while they're traveling, this is the one that you should take. So what is this actually good for? Well, lavender is kind of like the chamomile of the essential oil world, right? Because in regular herbs, dried herbs, chamomile fixes a lot of stuff. And the same is said with lavender essential oil. It fixes a lot of stuff. One of the things that it's good for is cuts, scrapes, burns, insect bites, things like that. What it's going to do is it's going to kind of soothe the irritated area. It's going to kind of draw some of that stuff out, and it's going to make it less itchy too if you have something that's itchy. If you actually have a cut or a scrape or something where there's an open wound, it's going to help disinfect that, especially if you're like hiking or you're out far away from your house where you can't get in and clean it out properly right away, right? So essential oil is going to be really, really good for that. So I always recommend it for traveling. Another reason too is because when we travel, we sometimes go to tropical places or places where there's a lot of sunshine. And when that happens, unfortunately, sometimes we get sunburnt. And so lavender essential oil is excellent for sunburns. If you want to check out, I did another video where I have kind of a formula that I concocted for myself that I show you guys how to make that really is helpful in soothing some really bad sunburns. So check that out if you've got a chance. If you're not in an area where you can really make anything or you're not at home, lavender essential oil can actually be put on your skin neat, right, for your sunburn. And what does that mean? Well, that means that lavender essential oil is one of the only essential oils you can actually put on directly on your skin and rub it in. Most other oils you will want to mix with a carrier oil because they are stronger, they have different properties, and you know, can irritate your skin or burn or just different things depending the type of oil you're using. So please make sure if you're not using lavender to mix it in with, you know, either some lotion or water or coconut oil or jojoba oil. It has to be mixed with something sort of to dilute it a little bit so that when it is transferred onto your skin that it's not so intense, because these are 90 times stronger than the actual plant. So you want to make sure that you're very careful with it. Lavender is sort of an exception because it's very soothing and calming, and it's a little more neutral of an essential oil. So some other things that it is good for, a lot of times too, if you are hiking or doing a lot of outdoor activity or just walking around a lot, maybe you're taking a shopping vacation where you're wandering in and out of the shops, your feet get sore and tired, your muscles get sore and tired, and lavender essential oil is a perfect essential oil for you guys to use in order to kind of relieve some of that soreness and that tension and those aches. Now, sometimes people want to do this in a hot bath, so they will put a bunch of lavender essential oil in their bathtub and just kind of sit in there, and between the hot water and the essential oil and whatever else you decide to put in, it will kind of help soothe and relax and, you know, ease those muscles and that tension that you're feeling. Another thing that lavender is really great for, it's good for kind of your moods, right? It's good for anyone who's got stress or anxiety or who's just feeling sort of uncomfortable in certain situations. And this happens a lot, you know, for people that deal with these issues on a regular basis. Kids sometimes can get super overstimulated because they're tiny and they're new and they're not used to all these things happening around them. And sometimes too, when you're just traveling or on vacation, you know, it's a very stressful time and there's stuff, you know, going on. So it's really great to use this in whatever situation you're in. Now, you can use it in a diffuser at your house to kind of just, you know, have it out into the air, just keep a calm kind of atmosphere. I know some people like to mix a couple drops of water into like a little 2-ounce spray bottle, and they'll spray it on their pillows or their sheets, or just kind of lightly mist it over themselves, right? It's kind of like hairspray. You don't want to get too close, right? You want to make sure it disperses evenly. You're going to have a big splotch of lavender just sitting on you somewhere. And I know a lot of people do this too with young children. Mothers might kind of mist it on, wait a little bit, and then pick up their child and hold them because the smell is a little bit lighter, but it does still help kind of soothe and calm their children down a little bit. And like I said too, you want to be careful when you're using this with children because they're smaller than us. And so they can't take as much as us. So, you want to exercise extreme caution when you're using essential oils with children, right? Very important. So let me read off because there's some other things on here too on this list, and I didn't want to miss anything that lavender is good for. It's good for so many things. Let's see, what else did I miss here? Rashes, if I didn't mention that with any of the skin conditions, are really good. It can be good for diaper rash. Just make sure that you apply the correct amount for little babies, right? It's good for allergies and asthma. If you're having a hard time paying attention, you're feeling kind of ping-ponging all over the place, it kind of helps refocus you a little bit. It's good for insomnia. It helps you kind of sleep, gets you relaxed, gets you going. It's good if you are really tired, and also any sort of aches and pains on your bodies that you might have going on. Maybe it's not just a muscle ache, maybe you've got back or shoulder or something. It's good for helping relieve some of those things. So that's another really great thing that lavender is used for. Some super tips that I will give you if you're working with essential oil that's probably really super important. One, make sure you put that cap back on really tight because you don't want to lose any of your essential oil. It'll evaporate. The other thing I think is really important to mention is that you need to make sure that you wash your hands properly after handling essential oils, because if you touch your face, I'm sure a lot of us have noticed recently that we touch our face a lot more than we thought that we did, and you don't want to get that anywhere that's bad, especially your eye, right? And so you want to make sure that you clean your hands before you start touching other things, especially if you're someone like me that wears contacts. I'm super anal retentive about when I use my essential oils, because the last thing I want is to put my contact on and feel that sizzle and that burn right when I put it in my eye. The other thing too, if you're working with small kids and you have stuff on your fingers and you touch them in a place that you don't want to have essential oil, that could be a problem as well, especially if you're working with one that's not lavender and it's not meant to go directly on the skin without a carrier oil. So I hope I've covered all the bases there. Another thing too is you should always really research any herbs, essential oils, any new healthcare things like that. Really check into what you're using before you use it. It might, have a bad combination or bad reaction with maybe a medication that you're taking, or maybe you might notice some of the effects that it has does something that's opposite of other health issues or things that you're trying to do or trying to avoid have happen. That's one of the most important things that I learned in all of my studies, is that really research something before you just willy-nilly slap it on, ingest it, try it, whatever. There's a lot of rules and a lot of regulations, and I want to make sure that everyone's safe. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys go out and find some lavender that you really like, that you enjoy, that works for you. It's like I said, it is good for so many things. So if you're traveling, make sure you put that in your bag and take it to go. You'll be so thankful that you did. So until next time, I think that's all I have, but thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.